Hey, let me ask you a question. If you will make so much money by telling a story, but it's a complete lie, how far down can you lie and how much money will be enough? Let me tell you a story about how a young woman fooled investors, doctors, and even the US government and made a total of $9 billion. This is the story of THERANOS, the company that promised to change healthcare forever, but instead became one of the biggest fraud in Silicon Valley history. And at the center of it all was Elizabeth Holmes, a woman who wanted to be the next Steve Jobs but ended up behind bars. This is Elizabeth Holmes. She was born in 1984 in Washington, D.C. and grew up in a well-off family. From a young age, she was so ambitious, like world-changing ambitious. She dreamed of becoming a billionaire tech founder before she could legally rent a car. At just 19, Elizabeth dropped out of Stanford University to start her own company. The idea? A tiny device that could run hundreds of blood tests with just a single drop of blood from a finger prick. No needles, no vials, no waiting days for results. It sounded like magic, and honestly, if it worked, it would revolutionize healthcare. In 2003, Elizabeth founded THERANOS, which is a word combination of therapy and diagnosis. Creative. Her innovation was unheard of. It's fast, cheap, painless blood test that could detect everything from cholesterol levels to cancer. She named the machine Edison, after the inventor Thomas Edison. She even described it like the modern-day laptop in a world of outdated PC. It's faster, better, and reliable. So, as you can already guess, investors loved it. They all lined up. Big names like Rupert Murdoch, Henry Kissinger, and Walton family, yes, Walmart, all poured in millions into Theranos company. Elizabeth hired bunch of engineers and doctors and even PhD graduates to make this a reality. Walgreens, like Mercury Drug in US, signed a massive partnership. This further boosted Theranos' brand reputation. Elizabeth was suddenly being called the female Steve Jobs. It was an instant success. She was on magazine covers, giving TED Talks, and featured on Forbes' list of richest self-made women. Her net worth was over $4.5 billion. She was a huge inspiration to a lot of women. She was seen with powerful men in government like Bill Clinton and Joe Biden, which put off some regulating agencies like FDA to be tough on her. She was untouchable. Having fame and power, Elizabeth of course was liking it. As long as the story goes well, she could continue this charade for as long as she liked and probably get some more money from investors. Who knows? Until, here's the teeny tiny problem. The tech did not actually work. Can you imagine buying a brand new iPhone? You start it, the apps don't work. You try call and text, but nothing. Because behind the curtain, Edison machine, those magical little boxes that were supposed to test blood, were unreliable, inaccurate, and in some cases, totally fake. One employee tested her own blood using Edison, and from a traditional blood testing clinic, she got two different results. But instead of admitting this, Elizabeth doubled down. When results failed, they secretly used third-party lab equipment to run tests while claiming the result came from their breakthrough technology. And those employees who questioned this kind of method was fired, silenced, and even threatened with lawsuits. Enter John Carreyrou. He is a Wall Street Journal reporter who began investigating Theranos after whistleblowers start leaking the truth. John's article revealed that Theranos wasn't just faking results, it was potentially endangering the lives of people by giving false medical results. In 2015, the house of cards began to collapse. The Wall Street Journal published its bombshell exposé, and regulators like the FDA and CMS started building a case against Theranos. Walgreens ended their partnership. Investors were furious. They demanded their money back while at the same time the company was burning cash through legal fees and settlement against customer lawsuits. In 2018, Elizabeth and her business partner and also an ex-boyfriend, Sunny Balwani, were charged with massive fraud. Theranos went from being a $9 billion valuation to worthless almost overnight. The woman once seen as unicorn in Silicon Valley was suddenly the poster child for tech deception. Elizabeth Holmes was convicted in 2022 on multiple counts of fraud and sentenced to 11 years in federal prison, while Sunny Balwani got 13 years. The fallout was brutal. Hundreds of employees lost their jobs, investors lost nearly $1 billion, and the tech world got a hard reminder that charisma and a good pitch deck don't replace real science. Theranos now lives on as a cautionary tale, a mix of ambition, arrogance, and deception. Elizabeth wanted to be remembered as a visionary who changed the world. Instead, she's remembered as the founder of one of the greatest scams in modern history.